So this is my 10th session. So let's start the session first. So I wanted to show you something because I've seen so many errors related to some errors. I'll talk about that error in a few seconds. So this happened for many people in real time. So I just wanted to show how it looks and what needs to be done to fix that. I mean, this is an interview question, but also I'm showing you the answer for that and what the problem is along with just the discussion. Okay, so let's start. Hope you're able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So imagine this is one critical server. Okay. So SQL Server is in stopped state. And now I want that to be in started state, running state. Okay. So I'm trying to start this. So I'm just waiting for it to get started. And for some reason, it is not getting started. So what needs to be done to fix this? You guys needs to help me to troubleshoot this, and post that I will let you know the important error what we are going to discuss. This is very handy in real time. Okay, let's wait for it to get started. Of course, it will fail. So I will just open up the error log location as well so that we can see what is happening. So it's still trying to start and it failed. So now as a DBA, what is our first step? Obviously going to our error logs and inspect what is there inside our error logs, right? So any other things that I need to perform without doing this step? Anyone would like to contradict this? Okay, this is not the first step. You should do something else. We are
If
all
you
on
want,
the
we
same
can
page,
change
right?
the log on a service different account, right? That also we
That
can try,
is
right?
working fine. That is not a problem. So first thing is, okay, for some reason SQL Server is not getting started. So what is my first step? As a DBA,
Event
what should
viewer.
event
Check.
viewer? Okay,
Open
First, check
so
the SQL logs.
yeah, SQL logs is the right place. Of course, I'm not denying event viewer, but the best place to find out what is happening with my SQL Server is definitely error logs. So let me open event viewer for a second. So it will be in system. Usually if the service is not getting up, it will be in system. We'll see that and we'll go to error logs as well. Let's keep this aside. Let's wait for it to pop up. So I'm opening the log file and let's see what is inside that. And it says, okay, trying to start some transactions, starting the resource database, blah, blah, blah. And have you observed one different thing here in my error logs? There is one thing I'm just letting you know. Did you notice this?
Yes,
Starting
yes.
up the
Yeah.
database, model underscore replicated master. What is this database?
I think for newer version, it is the database is there, right? System database.
So
Before it was not there.
just be careful, guys. This is only on 2022, and I'll let you know what is the reason behind that database. We'll talk about that later. But let's first try to fix the error. It's not getting started. Okay, it says starting up the database model. That is succeeded and fine. And it's trying to start some system health session extend events. It is working fine. And now it says some SSL error, something like this, could not load the certificate. It needs to initiate an SSL connection, unable to initialize SSL encryption, blah, blah, blah. So as a DBA, what should I do to get rid of this error?
So you want to check the certificate is imported into SQL Server properly. That's it.
Okay, just in real time, there might be some certificates. So someone is saying, he's asking me to check the certificates. Sorry guys, I'm getting some noise, so I'm muting. Okay, so someone said to check the certificates. So I don't have any certificates, but in real time, yes, I need to check what is that certificate and what it is doing. For the moment, I don't have any certificate. So you can check the certificates. I think probably here, I guess, somewhere here. I think here, I believe. Yeah, this is the certificate. I don't have any certificates for the moment. It's just a plain vanilla server. Nothing is there. So I I'm just moving ahead with this message. So it means there is nothing to do with certificate. What else should I do? It's a common thing, right? SQL Server is not getting started. We'll check the error message and we need to find out what exactly is the error message and what should I do. So, okay, after looking into this, I say, okay, something is not working. So I need to check the Google because I don't know how to, read these error messages because I'm not that efficient. Imagine we are not so good. So we need to carry out some Googling. So what I will do is I need to pick one error message. So it says TDS client initialization failed with some infrastructure error. Either I need to go with this message or else I have to go with this message, right? I have only two options. So I need to check either of them. So which one you want me to go with? It's your choice. Or else if someone knows the answer, they can say.
I think that unable to initialize, that is generic error. I think TDS client installation.
Okay.
That will be searched.
Okay. So it says some TDS blah blah blah. So let's go with this message and see what needs to be done. I'm minimizing this. Just a second. So I came here and checking that same thing. I got some blog from Pinal Dev. So let's see what he's saying. So he's saying the same error message and he's saying SQL Server is not getting started with the same messages of what we are seeing in our error logs. So he's saying workaround or resolution is disable some TLS, reboot the server. If error came during the installation, then uninstall the SQL Server. So many things, right? So these are the steps what he has recommended. So let's keep this aside. I'll keep this in new page. Do you think, is there anything else that we can browse and see if that error helps us? Probably this one, Microsoft link. So it's saying some KB article and that is applicable to 2014, not 2012 or something else, right? So looks like this is not the one what we are referring. So what else can we do? This happens in real time, guys. I'm letting you know. This is the exact message what you see in real time. Are there any experienced DBAs here? More than 10 plus? In this call? I don't know. I'm just asking. Anyone? Okay, so silence.
Vemsi,
Yeah.
I don't think like we came across because we never run with that anti account. Yeah, we do have
Doesn't
this kind of
see.
issue.
I do
No, we
agree.
do have
Yeah, go ahead.
with the other account. So we have
Mm.
seen the issue like you have to add that on the admin group and you have to add that service account on the SQL instance side. It's not starting this service. And once we did that one, it works. But looks over here, you might have to change on the startup parameters, I think so.
Startup
But
parameters.
I'm
So
not clear.
what do you mean by startup parameters? Let's check what are startup parameters. So do you think that I'm blocking something here? Let's see and
Right.
let's go to the startup parameters. So I'm in the startup parameters. So as you can see, it's the data file location of master and log file location of master, error log location, 1117 and 1118, which are by default from 2016, I think so. 2016 or 2017. Okay,
So this is
so
only for 2022 SQL Server you are saying, or the OS is 2022?
my OS is 2022 and my SQL version is also 2022. But see, in real time, you will get this error, SSL error, SSL error, or else TLS something. So these are the generic errors that you will come across, and don't fall into the trap of service account. Here I don't have domain account, so that's the reason it's going with default. So there is nothing to do with service account here. It has full
you're
permissions. There's nothing to
so
do
you're
with
saying like you have to enable that TLS 1.2.
something it's saying, right? So in my error logs, it's
Yeah.
saying read the message carefully. That's what I'm saying. So if you go to the error logs, straight away it said something related to SSL or TLS. So it says here unable to initialize SSL support, and client and server cannot communicate because they don't possess a common algorithm.
Means
Right?
TLS
That-
3.0 is required. Or,
No,
So-
TLS
in
1.2,
2022, we have
you
the
need to disable TLS 1.3. In higher version, you are getting 1.3. That may be.
Okay, so let's talk about versions 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. I feel like Robo 2, 2.0. Okay, so let's see. Where can I check whether I have TLS 1.0 or 1.1, 1.2 or 1.3?
Registry editor, go to.
Oh my goodness. I lost the internet. ఎప్పుడు ఏ రోజు పోదు ఈ రోజేనా నేను క్లాస్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు కాకపోతే hello guys, can you hear me? I lost the power here.
Yeah.
So sorry for
Yes,
that.
yes.
Okay, so let me go to the registry editor, and where should I check and what should I check? Anyone who knows this?
Vamshi, you
Initial
not
was
shared your
Go to
screen.
C.
Okay,
You
okay,
are not sharing it.
okay, just a second. Share the screen. Sorry for that. It will never happen in at my place, but unfortunately it happened today. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we can see now.
Okay, so where should I check for the protocols?
I think
Registry-
you can go to
Registry editor.
HT local machine.
Yeah, so I think it is system, not here. I think, let me see where it is. HKLM system. Some
We are not seeing your
Screen
that
was
register
stopped.
screen.
is it so?
We can just see the. Yeah,
Yes.
now we can see, but not
Oh.
your computer.
You are seeing error logs.
Error
Okay,
logs. Yeah.
okay. Let me share the screen again. Entire screen. Share. Now.
Yep, we can see now.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Thank
now
you.
we can see it.
So
Yep.
let me
Then
do
we
this.
can go.
Let me go to the server first. I think I lost the connection to the server as well. Just a second, guys. I know it never happened. So whenever I'm taking class, it happened for the first time. Okay, so now inside the server, I'm inside the server. Hope you can see my screen.
Yep.
So
We
let me
can.
go to the registry editor and HKLM. I think it is system.
Yep. System. Then current control
Current
set.
control set.
Okay.
Then
guide me.
control.
Control.
Then control. Then
Yeah.
security providers.
Yeah, something should be with security providers.
Then
channel.
S
Yeah.
channel.
Yes, channel, that's
Then
true. And then protocols.
protocols. Yep.
So we are into this page now. Usually we don't have this tendency of changing the registry editor, because if you play with registry editor, something can happen and it will mess up the things. So usually we will talk to our Windows administrators and we might say, okay, this is not enabled and this is enabled, something like that. So by looking at this, I'm letting you know, guys, for the junior DBS. So these are all the protocols: SSL, TLS. Okay, as of now, we are on TLS 1.3, SQL Server 2022 and the Manage Instance and Azure SQL. These are all the latest versions, right? So they are all with TLS 1.3. So looking at this, so how to understand this? So is it disabled or enabled? So how to interpret this?
Disabled.
So here,
Zero.
yeah, if I go to the TLS 1.3, we have two things here, client and the server. Okay, we have two things. So client mission and the server mission. As of now, I don't have client mission. I'm just connecting to the same server mission. But in general, if client is not able to connect, we should have the same protocols. So in my message says, my error log says, I don't have the same protocol communication. So as if you can see, read this message carefully. So it says, client and the server cannot communicate because they don't possess a common algorithm. So it is complaining about the algorithm, and also it says it is unable to initialize the SSL support. So two things there. So my client is TLS 1.3. I'm checking for the TLS 1.3. So it is disabled, and for the server, it is disabled. So both server and the client are disabled on my mission. So when I come to TLS 1.2, client is enabled, as you can see. Enabled, if you see enabled, you will see some hexadecimal FFF, it means enabled. And for the server, it is disabled.
Right.
Okay, and if I go to TLS 1.1, the same story. So it is enabled for the client and disabled for the server. So it means I don't have the common mechanism. For the client,
Right.
I have the protocols enabled, and for the server, those are disabled. So I need to tweak this to make this happen. I mean, to make this work. So there are two ways to achieve this. Usually, I will never go to registry editor and tweak the values. It's not recommended. And if you're doing, definitely take a backup of the registry editor and then perform your actions. If you are not having any Windows team, if you do have Windows team, you can ask them and you can ask them to enable. So that is the other thing. But there is one more thing that usually Windows team will make use of. That is nothing but IIS crypto. I was playing with this tool, and that's the reason we got this error. Okay, so I was just playing with this tool. So I disabled the server protocols. I disabled the entire server protocols. So this is what Windows team do. Yeah.
And normally, because of the company policies, they don't allow if it's like by default from the out of the box, it's like disable. You have to go for the exceptions.
Yes, yes. So see, to generate the error message, I have to play with the tools, right? I can't create that error message without using such tools. But in real time, if this happens, you can talk to your Windows team and you can ask them to enable the respective protocols. So you can, if you see now, I am enabling TLS 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, and also for the client enabling 1.3. So this is what I'm doing. So now if I say apply, so it says a reboot is required. Okay, let's check this later. But
One second.
yeah.
Where do you find that IIS portal? I was not able to.
It's a software. It's a software. You need to download IIS crypto software to play with, not in real time. Okay. You should not be doing such things in real time. So if you wanted to learn some things with TLS errors, and if you wanted to regenerate for yourself, you can play with these tools. Okay. So right away now, see, after enabling, see, I just made some changes. Previously, only client was in enable state. Now, even for the server, I can see it is back to enable state, right? And let's check the TLS client 1.2 server. It's in enable state. That's good. TLS 1.3 was completely disabled. Now it's in enable state for client and server. Let's try to start SQL Server and see if that works. Let's see. If it doesn't work, it's fine. We can restart the server because it's clearly said for these changes to happen, a reboot is required. But without making any reboot itself, now we are able to start the SQL Server. So now you should have some idea. So when you get some errors related to TLS SSL, so you have to play with protocols. I mean, you have to have some idea on protocols, and you have to play with your registry editor values. Okay, so
normally we have enabled those kind of stuff when the application people we upgrade, and then the application team, they cannot access to the server.
Okay.
And then they get those kind of issues, then we go and try to enable those, and then we have to pass it from the exceptions and all those from the company's policy.
So
because there are like policies every time they run on the servers, and they will disable back again. So you have to get it through. with that.
Obviously this is tied with Windows team. It's not our duty,
Right.
but if you are seeing these errors, and as a DBA, you should have some knowledge. So I'm just passing the knowledge, like what are the protocols and how to troubleshoot the errors that are what you are seeing inside your error logs, especially with TLS and SSL. Okay, this is
Right.
what you should do. You just need to go to this registry editor and tweak them. Of course, I am not suggesting you to do that. I'm suggesting you to pass this information to your Windows team, and then they can do on your behalf. So
Yeah,
if
we
you are
have
the
gone
only
through
one,
that
yeah, you can do.
TLS. Yeah, we have gone through this error.
Yeah. So is this message clear? So
One
yeah,
question.
yeah.
So when we install SQL Server, so this will be enabled by default, right? So
Yes.
that is
So different
Yeah.
versions of SQL Server will have different protocols. Okay. Right now we are on 2022. So I am
I
with
think
TLS
from
1.3. Yeah.
I think from SQL 2014, those 1.2 are disabled.
So
2014 or 2016, I'm not exactly
we
sure,
need to.
but yeah. Because when we upgrade to the 2016, a lot of applications, they are not connecting. So we have to do that 1.2 enable.
Okay. Is this message clear, guys? I mean, how to troubleshoot and where to check and what needs to be done.
Yep, that's good.
One doubt.
Yeah.
As we don't have this tool, so we have to do the changes on registry entry, right? We have to do it directly there.
So instead of you doing it, better
Yeah,
talk
Windows
to your
team.
Windows team. And
Okay.
They will not allow you.
they will not allow you. That is the first thing. And even if they are doing, they will take a backup of registry editor, because never mess up with registry editor. If you do that, you will see some unforeseen issues. Okay. It's a strict warning. You should not be playing with registry editor contents.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is about SSL and TLS error. Of course, this is a common message or common interview question that they might ask you. So if you are familiar with the error message and how to resolve, then you can say it very easily, because it's a practical demonstration, right? Instead of just discussing theoretically. Okay, let's move on. And let's move on with other questions. Yeah.
One more. Sorry, this is Paramesh.
Yeah,
Hello?
Parmesh.
Hello. Can you know the difference between SSL and TLS? I don't know whether you discussed it or not. I'm not sure. Just I joined.
I didn't discuss about SSL and TLS. Secure. I mean, I just know the abbreviations for them. I didn't discuss about them internally, but what I noticed is SSL in general, if you don't do anything, it's not in enabled state by default. I'm saying, so I didn't do anything here. If I go to my registry editor and if I check my SSL stuff, it's in disabled state by default. I'm saying by default. And if you are having some certificates and if you are trying to do if you wanted to see, for example, I just shown you one thing, right? So if you have some certificates and if you wanted to play with that, then you have to go with SSL. So then SSL comes into picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, like the SSL, those are the certificate used in the older version of the Windows.
Yes. Yes.
TLS is like more the upgraded version. SSL is not used like more. Yeah, SSL is not more used nowadays. They are using TLS on the latest version.
So both are same only.
Both are.
There are differences, guys. There are differences. Little bit differences.
I will check them.
Yeah,
very little, yeah.
Because we should not say they are both are same. Okay.
SSL, you have to create this certificate like every year, like
you have to renew your certificates
renew
for the SSL.
certificates.
Yeah. Let's move on. It's a simple question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just I want to point out two important things regarding this IS crypto. I think it is better to use IS crypto. If something happens, you can simply enable disable, so things will work correctly. That is one important point. And the other one, now the SQL Server is started, yes?
Yes, it's in started state.
Right.
Yeah, but we do not start the SQL Server. But the problem is, when you restart the server next time, maybe some applications will not work. So it is very important.
Yeah, what I am trying to say is, I am not saying to make use of IS crypto here. What I'm saying is, if you wanted to learn these errors and if you wanted to reproduce errors for yourself, then you can play with this tool. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Right,
not suggesting you to make use of this tool or to generate anything with this tool. I'm not encouraging anything with this tool. I'm just
no,
saying
yeah,
just practice.
Actually, we are using this tool in our environment and we
Okay.
use it frequently
Okay.
and it works fine. But the problem is it has to be done after hours. That is one.
Okay.
And the other
Right.
thing, when you run it, you have to run, for example, if the database is in one server and the application is in another server,
Mhm.
you have to run this tool in both machines and make sure that they are in the same TLS.
Exactly. So if you, in my case also, it's saying the client and the server is not having the same protocol because I disabled server and I enabled the client version like TLS. So that's the problem.
So
But
the moment the SQL, one of the servers is restarted, this thing will take effect and it might cause issues. So it has to be done after hours, but
I
as
do agree.
for the
I do
works
agree.
fine.
Yeah. So I'm just moving on with this question and I'm just moving further. Okay. So one more interview question, but what I can think of. How many files are there for tempdb on our platform as a service fold? When I say platform as a service fold, it includes manage instance and Azure SQL by default.
I think it's 4 or 8.
Eight, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 or 8. Any other answers? Without
13.
without Googling, please.
13.
Can you repeat
13.
question? Can you repeat
Yeah, I
question?
will repeat the question. How many files for tempdb in case of platform as a service fold? Means manage instance or Azure SQL.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 8.
Only two. Only
and
two. Only
Okay,
two.
I have one mission, so I will show you how many are there. Let's check because
It
you
is
have
8.
to understand. 1 second, guys. So what is that? Okay, I need to connect to the portal, right? 1 second. So if I go here, I have some SQL server. Let's check that. Where is that? Azure SQL. So I have this one. Okay, let me grab the connection string. So this is my server name. And let's connect. This one is really. How many files for tempdb in case of?
I think it's 4. I think it's 4
Okay,
because
first
I
let's
tried to install it.
Yeah, let's discuss about Azure SQL for a moment. I don't have MI, but I'm letting you know, guys. I'm planning to install MI, and I wanted to explore the things which are not being covered by me in my previous training. So I wanted to just focus on the things that are new to me and the things that were unexplored. That is my intention. I don't want to repeat the same content. That's a different story. We'll talk about it later. So if I open this, I'm not able to see tempdb also. I'm just able to see master and user databases. So how can I see how many tempdb files on Azure SQL?
SP_LDB, will that work? I'm not sure.
Okay, let's do this. No problem. So SP_help_db. I ran that.
tempdb.
So it says yes username. It can't be done. Okay, so you are saying tempdb. Let's do that as well. Okay, same message.
Sys artifacts.
Let's take, what is it?
Sys
files.
Sys alt files. Okay, select star from sys alt files. Is this the one? Let's run this.
No, sys alt files.
Okay.
Sys files.
Okay, let's do one by one. Sys alt file. Someone said sys alt. It's not popping up. Okay. What next?
Sys files.
Sys files. Okay, sys files. See, very simple question and see the answers. That's the beauty of
Sys dot database files.
okay, sys dot database files. Okay, let's do this. I got only for master. I need for tempdb.
Sys.master_file.
Okay, sys.master_files. Let's find that as well. Master_files. Okay, it says no.
Sys.sys alt files. Sys.sys alt files.
I think we already fired that, but let's do it one more time. Sys.sys alt files. That is not even popping up. for your information, and it failed.
Use tempdb.
Okay, that's the right answer. Let's see. Use tempdb for the person who answered. So use statement is not being supported on Azure SQL. Very simple question, right? Just think. So how simple question, and we are still not able to answer this. That's the beauty of Azure SQL. Okay, so what is the database underscore files, right? I think tempdb dot dbo dot something should be there. 1 second. I got, it is saying tempdev and templog. Okay, and it's showing me 2 files, but this is, do you think this is the right answer or wrong answer? It's showing me tempdev and templog. I can see that it's saying tempdb and tempdb templog.ldf. So is this right or wrong?
No, I don't think it's like giving only the information for those.
It's saying tempdev, logical
Yeah,
name and
and
physical
on
name
template.
also, right? So do you think this is
Yeah.
right or wrong?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, let's check internet for a second. So tempdb Azure SQL. So my question is, how many files
How
would
many
get
files?
generated for tempdb? Okay, let's pull this down.
Based on the vCPUs we have selected while creating the instance.
That is a good point. I am expecting that point. Someone finally said something. Let me show you that part. So I have only 2 databases, AZDB, which is a basic DTU model. I can show you that 1 second. So you can see this, right? It's a basic DTU, and even AZDB2, it falls into same category. It's a basic DTU. Okay, so it's a basic DTUs what I have. So now the question, back to the question, how many files? Default. So this is the query, guys. So you have to run the query like this. So I ran the same thing, tempdb.sys.database files. So someone said it depends upon the vCore configuration and the type what we selected. That is true. Okay, so this is my basic model, and that's the reason I am seeing file count as 1, means data files. So here, if I don't do that where, then I will get log file also. So I have 2 files. So this query is perfectly fine. So I have 2 files for the basic DTU model. Okay. And if I change that, it will get changed. Okay. It's not something that is predefined. Don't say 2 files, 4 files, 8 files. No, that is not the right answer. It depends on your configuration. Whether it is basic DTU model or vCore model, it depends, and it changes also. And if you wanted to see how many files that are associated, you need to run this query. Okay, so very simple question, but yeah.
So this is like more on the managed instance only you are saying, or
No,
the
this
on the
is
VM
on
also?
Azure SQL. For managed
Okay, Azure
instance,
SQL.
it's
Yeah, for the
defaulting. It's default.
Yeah, for the
And
yeah,
I'm
I told
answering.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So for managed instance, it is 12 files. That is default answer.
Right. Okay. But I have seen like we do install, like I have seen most of the time like 8 files or
No,
4
that's not the
files.
case.
Then we have to add it more.
No, that's not the case. Okay, we are on platform as a service world. So now for your information, what I'm doing is I'm changing here. Okay, so I will change this to, let me change this to, can I go with, what is that? vCore model for a second and see how many files will get created automatically for us. So I'm going with vCore. So vCore general purpose, and I'll go with defaults. provision. I will go with provision, and I will
So
say.
are you trying to use the image for the SQL Server on the Azure side, or you are trying to
No, I'm not using
use
anything. I'm using just the default. So I'm going with 4 vCores for the moment. Okay, in front of you. So let me do this. This is very problematic for me. Okay, 4 vCores. So I changed it from basic DTU model to vCore 4 CPUs, vCore model and 4 CPUs. So I changed this for AZDB2 for one of the databases, and the other remains the same. So let's see if it got changed. And it's happening now. And before it happens, so the answer is for manage instance, it is 12 files. It's fixed. Okay, you can change it. But if you are just install the manage instance, and if you wanted to see how many files are associated with tempdb, it's 12 files. That is the answer. 12 files.
Okay, for the
and one
manage
log
instance.
file. Yeah, for manage instance. And for Azure SQL, it varies. Okay, as you can see, as I've just seen, for basic model, I got just 2 files. For I'm just changing it to vCore model for 4 vCores. So let's see how many files will I get. So it is still happening. So once it gets done, we can discuss about that. I'll just keep that aside, and once that is done, we can discuss. Yeah.
Vamsi, like, okay, I agree with your manage instance and the pass model. Okay, that's fine. But I'm especially looking for the on the VMs as model, like where
VMs,
we
it's
yeah.
very simple. So when you are installing, I think from
Yeah, you get that.
2017, they have given this option of tempdb, 2017 or 2019. I'm
tempdb.
not very particular.
Right.
Yeah, something is there. So
It's
you will
20 from
select that.
20. Yeah,
Okay.
from 2016, you can add
2016.
like more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't remember that things. Let's discuss one more interview question. Very simple, but it's very challenging. I think for the people who are part of my group, they can answer it. So I don't want them to answer.
I think this is my first class.
Oh, that is fine.
Yeah, this is a great one. I already worked before on that.
Okay, so it got
cluster
scaled
and
now.
all.
It got scaled. It says successful. Let's jump in and let's take few moments because it won't appear on the fly, I believe. Let's wait for a few seconds and then we can check that out. Let's wait for it because I've just finished this, right? So let's wait for it. Before we run that query, one more interview question. So I am on 2017 SQL Server on premises or IAS, whatever it is. I just moved from 2017 to 2019. Okay, 2017 to 2019. And I ran for a week and I realized that my performance is not that good. So I switched back from 2019 to 2017. So what will be the reasons for me to switch back? Why? So can you explain me what will be the reasons for the performance degradation when I moved from 2017 to 2019?
I think we discussed recently, right? I was part
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm saying. For the people who are
Okay.
part of my training, I don't want them to answer. I just wanted to see
Got
for
it.
the others.
Yeah.
Might be compatibility issue.
Compatibility issues.
No problem with compatibility because okay, let's see, for example, compatibility. Okay, I do agree compatibility. So what will cause that issue? What is the reason for that? Compatibility, yes, I do agree. So what happened when I changed the compatibility level to 2019? Internally, what is the reason?
Cardinal estimator will change.
Might be the older applications are not compatible with the latest version.
Okay, it's not compatible. So what is stopping it from being used?
Maybe algorithm of cardinality estimator.
Cardinality estimator, it got changed from 2014 and it's getting changed for every version. We don't have any problems with cardinality estimator. For a second, imagine we don't have any problems with cardinality estimator and we have problems with compatibility level. Okay, I do agree compatibility level and cardinality estimator are very important factors when we are doing these kind of things. Yes, accepted. But I wanted to know internally what is stopping to run it properly. You got my point, right? 2019 is not working for them. What might be the reasons? Think out of the box. This is not going to be an easy answer. So this is something beyond your imagination. So when you can answer something like that, then the interviewer will feel extremely happy with your answers. So I wanted to share those kind of answers.
Legacy.
You mean the
Legacy.
Do you think the explanation plan?
No, not the execution plan. Okay, I'll let you know. So for you guys, I'm not sure if everyone is part of my training. I don't know. So we already discussed this question. So in 2019, we have the concept of, okay, we have the concept of batch mode on row store operations. So if I just say like this, you will never understand what is batch mode and what is row store and something like that. So let's discuss in a friendly manner, and I will make you sure that you will understand this. So what is batch mode? First, let's discuss about batch mode. What is batch mode when it comes to execution plans? Anyone knows about what is batch mode? Okay, I will simplify the things very easily for you. So from 2012, we got the concept of column store indexes. Is it yes or no?
Right.
Yeah, we have the concept of column store indexes from 2012. Okay, so in 2012, we cannot create cluster indexes. We can create only non-cluster indexes, non-clustered column store indexes. Okay, and even if you create, the entire table will become read-only. It can't be read-write.
Right. Right.
Okay, so on column store indexes, the way it operates from the traditional indexes is completely different. Okay, in traditional indexes, you will see B tree format. Means it goes on a row by row manner. It goes to the top level and goes to the intermediate pages, and it finally goes to the root page. What is it? Pages at the bottom, leaf pages. Okay,
Leaf
so at
level.
root page, intermediate page, leaf page. So this navigation is nothing but B tree navigation. But for column store, the architecture is completely different. Okay, and the way it operates is completely different. And if you see column store indexes, then you will see something called as batch mode. Okay, batch mode for your execution plans. What it is called as batch mode. So usually you will see batch mode only for column store indexes. Only, I repeat, batch mode will comes into picture only for column store indexes, not for regular indexes like clustered or non-clustered. Regular row store mode we will never get. But from 2019, we have the support of batch mode operations even for row store indexes. Means the regular indexes what we have on SQL Server, even though they are regular indexes, SQL Server internally is making use of batch mode operations on those servers, on those indexes. It works superbly for few applications. It might not work for other applications. So that is the reason for them in their case. So if I say in their case, I can say it as an exceptional case, because usually batch mode will work super faster compared to row mode. Okay, usually, but there are scenarios where it might not work, and that is the answer in their case. Okay, so compatibility level, yes, that is the problem. Why it happened? Because if you switch to 2019, internally, even for row store indexes, you will see batch mode operations. So that is the reason.
So,
Okay,
will there be any kind of error or something we'll see? How will you know that?
You have to inspect the execution plan. If you see the execution plan, you will come to know.
Right.
And that is not going to be that easy.
Yeah, that's what I say, Vamsi. It was like with the execution plan.
Yeah, it is with the execution plan, but I'm saying
Yes.
complete picture. I'm giving you the complete picture.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we
And,
found that one. Yeah.
Let's move on. Very simple question. What is proxy account in SQL Server? Why I need proxy?
Do we need nowadays? I don't think.
It is required even nowadays. So what is proxy? Very simple question, but most of them will fail. I can't say that word. Most of them will fail terribly here. What is proxy account?
Is it for running SSI package and packages? Then we use proxy account, right?
Instead
Not
of
only
giving
for the
access to
only
any user,
SSIS.
we can create a proxy account and give lesser access to the proxy account. We can run any jobs or something with that proxy account instead of giving access to the users.
Yeah, normally when you don't give the SA account, then you can make a proxy account for those SAs and then provide that one so that they can use, and they cannot use the direct login on the server.
Yeah, with that account they can
That's the main cause.
Let's check that out. Before I discuss about proxy, I wanted to show you the number of files for tempdb. Like we changed it, right? So if you see now for 4 B course, I got 8 files of tempdb means 8 data files and 1 log file. Okay, so if I wanted to filter only on data files, I will get 8 as the number, as you can see. Okay, so for Azure SQL, I'm running this in the context of AZDB2, means for the database where I changed the configuration. If I change this to AZDB1, so I cannot do this. Let's take a new query and sorry, AZDB, right? So let me do this on basic DTU again, this database. Okay, so if I run this, do you think I will get 9 or will I get something else?
You will get 2, I think.
Okay,
You
let's
will
run
get
this.
server
See?
level, right?
See?
1 only.
Okay, so now I will make I'll make you understand. So I will call managed instance as a service. Okay, instance as a service. I repeat my word, instance as a service means for the entire instance, I'm getting serviced for the entire instance. But when I say Azure SQL, I'll call it as database as a service. If I run in the context of AZDB, which is basic DTU, I got only 1 file. So for this database, if I run the same query of tempdb, I got only 1 file. Okay, and this is separate database. That's the reason we call it as database as a service. How many databases are there here? All the user databases. Each database is an individual entity, independent entity. Okay, so for this database, I got 9 files. Okay, leaving out the log file, I got 8 files, and for this database, I got 1 file. So that is the reason when you're playing with Azure SQL, each database is an independent entity. That's the reason you can't even use database statement here. If you say use AZDB2, it will straight away see it's not allowing me to do that. And if you run this, it will throw an error because each database is an independent entity. So tempdb, when you're answering for tempdb, for Azure SQL, especially Azure SQL, it varies. There is no precise answer for that. It depends upon your configuration. When you run in the context of basic DTU, you will get 2 files. When you run for the other databases, it might, it depends upon the vCodes what you have selected. For 4 vCodes, I got 8 files. Okay, there is no precise answer. So this is what I expect you to answer in your interviews for tempdb files when it comes to Azure SQL. Whereas when you run the same thing on Azure Managed Instance, you'll always get 12 files because Azure Managed Instance is instance as a service. It's not database as a service.
But
You should be very clear.
But all the databases we create here will share the same master database, right?
Yes, it will share the same master, metadata. But let me run in the context of master, for example, if I run this in the context of master, see how many I got? Only 2 files. It's not showing me 8 files. If I run in the context of user database, where I changed from basic to some vCodes, then only I am able to see 8 files. So there is no precise answer for how many files for tempdb in case of Azure SQL. So it depends upon the number of vCodes what you have. And for every database, if I run that query, it is getting changed, as you can see clearly here. Okay, don't give straight away some numbers. So this should be your answer. Let me change that back.
Can you please show me where you have changed the file?
Which one?
This DTU changes.
Yeah, I changed from the portal. So I came here to the portal and I changed it from basic to
for database level changed.
Yeah, database. See, there is no option at server level. Just for your information, guys, these are all basic things, but many people, they don't know and they're getting confused. Okay, I'm here on the server. I'm not on the database. I'm on the Azure SQL server. Do you think there is anything like any option to change the entire server? No. If I go to the database, then I'm getting this option of compute and storage. If I go to the server, if I click on server, Azure SQL server, I'm not getting that option. I'm getting only SQL databases, and here I can change it if I want. That's the reason I'm saying
it is Elastic Pool. We need to change from server level, right? Elastic Pool.
Elastic Pools also, it's a different story. It's same thing.
Server ke mana port number vere unnado firewall request separate untadi. Open cheyalsindi.
I didn't understand some.
Oh, server vachindi. Server undi ippudu. Pentest screen even server vachindi. Adi namuga
Guys,
firewall
can you
request open
talk in
chesi
English?
resolve chesaru but still connect avvatలేదు server.
Guys,
think he's speaking
guys,
with someone.
can you?
అది
Can you?
పోర్ట్ వేరేది ఉంది అనుకుంటాను దానికి
I
పోర్ట్
think
వేరేది
he's speaking with
Oh
someone.
God, I think they are talking to each other. Okay, let's mute them. Okay, there is no such option to change. You have to change it for individual database. That's the reason I'm saying it again and again and again. It's database as a service. It has to be done at database level, not at this SQL Server level, means Azure SQL Server. Okay.
Yep.
So be very clear. Let's come back. What was my question? Proxy. Okay, proxy, right? Let's connect to our node, SQL Server node, and let's understand what is proxy in simple terms. Let me start this. So someone said we don't need proxy nowadays. That's the answer what I got. And someone said for few jobs we need proxy and blah blah blah. Is there any definition that impresses the interviewer at one line with one line? I can give you the practical thing, but before doing that, I would like to know if there is any answer that straight away impresses the interviewer at one shot.
Normally nowadays, like we are doing so many logins with so much granularity with the
Okay.
users. I don't think like we are trying to do a lot of those proxy account anymore, and a lot of like most of the users, they have like Active Directory access with the groups and all those.
Okay, let's do one small demo, very quick demo. In front of you, I'll show you what is the importance of proxy. Okay, let's quickly
Sure,
do.
there is an importance. I understand that.
Yeah. So
Like,
I want the importance and with practical demos. That's what you should learn, right? So I will create one dummy DDS package because that can help us to show the importance of proxy. Just a second. Come on. So what is that? SQL Server. Where is that SSL stuff? Oh, good. But I'm not able to see. Okay. SQL N1. So why I'm doing this, I'll let you know. So let's copy one database, for example, from Stack Overflow. To the same server I'm copying. Doesn't matter. Just treat this as a package. And I will say some contoso. Copy the data. Okay. So I'll just copy some table. Okay, that's enough. So I wanted to save this as package inside the SQL Server. Okay, I don't want to save any sensitive data. That's fine. So this will help us to save the package. Let's save this in file system, on the file system. Okay, so users, blah, 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 that's fine. And finish this off. Okay, so it will happen. So now coming back to understanding of proxy. So I am creating one account, one dummy account. Oh, something. Why it failed?
Might be because of some, what do you call,
Let's
identity.
take another.
Go back and check on the identity.
No, I will take some other table. So I don't want, this is not about SSIS. So I just want, I will go with test data otherwise. When I'm showing something important, if it fails, I feel very irritated. New package one. It's done. Okay, so it's happening. Now let's understand the importance of proxy. I will show you with one line answer. So just wait for it. So I'm creating one SQL account. I will say it as test10. It's too late in India, so I think people might drop off. So it's fine, but I'll share this later. Test10. Okay, just one dummy account. And I'm mapping to one database. And I'm giving DB owner. Okay, I've given DB owner.
this will, whatever you are creating, it's not going to create for the proxy, the login part.
Yes, yes. So I'm not using any proxy. I'm just showing you the importance. Okay. I've just created one login. Okay. I'm creating a new job now. So that login name is test10, right? So I'm changing the owner as test10. Test10. So I'll say this as job 1. That's fine. So I'm coming here and I'm creating a new job. Okay, I'll say step 1, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just running one simple script. So I'm saying select @ server name. That's it. This is my script. Okay. So he is the job owner, test1, and he's running the job now. Okay. So let's see if that gets executed or not. So super, it's getting executed. Fine. Okay. Now I have some package, right? Let's change this. And I'm creating a, okay, let me do another step, or I will edit the same step. Let me do with another step. You'll understand. Create new job instead of that. I'll say job 2. Job 2. Okay. And I'm changing this to test10 again. And I'm using the same package what I created. So it's a package, right?
You
So
are executed the job from the admin account, correct?
no, I executed from the individual account, test10, dummy login.
No. Can you cross check once?
Okay, I will come out there. Just a second. C: documents, new package 1, open, and this one is really okay. It's done. Okay, I'm coming back to you, bro. 1 second. Okay. Done. Yeah. See, I am executing this in the context of my account. That's what you are saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's connect with
User, yeah.
Test1.
test10. He will not able to see the jobs because I have not given access on it. So let's grant that first. Okay. Test10. Oops. EST10. Okay, so let me grant the permissions to him. And now you will see the importance of proxy in a couple of seconds. MSDB, I will grant him. What is that? Some agent operator role, right? Yeah. That's done. So now we are on a good. Now he's able to see the jobs. He can see all the jobs, and he wants to execute job 1, which is being owned by him. And that is nothing but select @ server name. It is working fine. Now I'm running the second job, a DDS package. And if you see the job owner, he is the job owner. Test10 is the job owner. So he owns the job. He's the job owner. And now he's trying to run the package. And it failed. And when you watch out for the error message, then you will get to know the importance of proxy. Very simple. Okay, so read out the error message, and after reading the error message, I will let you know the definition of proxy. So what it is saying? Non-sysadmins have been denied permission to run the DTS execution job steps without a proxy account. Okay, as simple as that. So when someone asks you about proxy, so you should say, whenever non-sysadmins needs to run non-T-SQL job steps. I repeat, whenever non-sysadmins, so this is very clear, non-sysadmins, whenever they want to run non-T-SQL job steps. What is non-T-SQL job steps? If I go to the job steps, okay, and if I go to edit, so I have many job steps, different types of jobs.
Yeah.
Job types. So I have T-SQL, operating system, PowerShell, replication, SSIS, blah, blah, blah. So this one, leaving out this one, okay, leaving out the T-SQL job type, except that one, if he wants to run anything else apart from T-SQL, he can't run without you creating the proxy account. Means non-sysadmin accounts cannot run the job, even though he is job owner. Even though he is job owner, he can't do it. So if someone asks you what is proxy, it's a one-line answer. Non-sysadmins, if they wanted to run non-T-SQL job types, then we need proxy accounts. Means for all these job types, we need proxy account except for T-SQL step. That is what proxy is about, and that then you should create proxy, and you have to change the job type. I mean, you have to change here, run as, you have to select proxy. Then it will allow you to create the run the package. I can do it if you want, but I just wanted to show what is proxy. Okay.
Perfect.
It's very simple. But if I ask the same question,
create a proxy account and
yeah, it will run. If you want, I can show you. Let me quickly create one proxy account for you. Let me connect to this one. If I ask you in interview, I will see some random definitions, and if it really
I
feels
got
strange.
the same exact question in one of the interview, Vamshi.
Okay, okay. Let's create the proxy account first. Before creating the proxy account, we have to create the credential. That is the first step. What you have to do. So I'm creating the credential. So credential name, I'll say test, because I'm just testing. I'll say something. Here I have to use some identity which has some permissions. Okay, it need not to be a sysadmin. It has to have some permissions. 5 group level policies are there, but for the moment I'm using my account. But in real time also, you need not give any sysadmin account. You can create one dedicated account for proxy, and you can make use of that. For the moment, what is my account? SQL N1 node name, right? SQL N1 / see. I don't have domain. That's the reason. What is that I'm using password? Yeah. So this is credential. Without creating credential, proxy will not work. So I just created the credential. Now go to the proxies. And here we are trying to achieve SSIS. If you wanted to do something else like PowerShell or something else, operating system, then you have to create proxy for that job type. Here I'm doing it for SSIS. So new proxy, I'll say proxy test something. So it is asking me for the credential name. So that's the reason I said credential is a must. So browse. So it is test 100, what I created. Okay, click on OK. And then you have to add the principal who wants to run this job. So he is test 100, right? So let's select that guy, test 100. Where is he? Test 10, sorry, test 10. And then click on OK. This one, I don't know how to hide this one. So keep on coming. Done. So now change the job type. Let's go to job 2. And he will be the job owner. I'm not changing the job owner. What I need to do is go here, click on edit, and just change the run as. Here you have to select proxy test. That's it. Nothing else. So now I'm connecting back with test 10. And then execute that job 2. Okay, that's what we should do. You will get some error because that table is already there. We didn't drop the table, right? So it will be a different error message. Doesn't matter, but you will not get the non-sysadmins that step. Okay. So don't worry about the error message because we are importing the table, right? If the table already exists, it will fail. So you will see something else, some error message, not the one. So this is related to SSIS. You got my point, right? There, see, yes, you can clearly see there is already an object my name test data in the database because I didn't drop that. If you want, we can just drop that table and it will run. So understand the concept, not about the error. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So if someone asks you what is proxy, very simple answer. Non-sysadmins, if they wanted to execute non-T-SQL job type, then we have to create proxy. That's it. Game over.
Vamshi, why it is required dependency with the proxy? I mean, why can't it run non-TSQL scripts with the
Only T-SQL job types are allowed to run without any hiccups. But if there is something else, as per Microsoft's security thing, we need proxy. Means we are running on behalf of them because they wanted to interact with the operating system. See, SSIS package, they have to interact with the file system on the package. Operating system, yes, they have to interact with the operating system. Any commands that are being executed from operating system, we have, if you are running from the agent job, you have to have certain permissions. So that can't be done with SQL accounts. So you have to have some account, right? Proxy account. So that is where
Even
proxy
MI also can be, it will support this proxy or only on
manage instance. You're asking about manage instance, right?
Yeah.
I think it
They are
will
also
work, but
needed.
I will double check. Anyways, I'm going to spin the MI, so I can check that part. Okay. Any questions with the topics what we discussed? Like the first thing is SSL and TLS, and how I made use of how I
Actually,
reproduced error.
sysadmins can do anything, correct?
Sysadmins can run this job, no problem.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not about
No,
sysadmins.
those are non-sysadmins.
Yeah. So I'm clearly saying non-sysadmins, non-T-SQL job types.
Okay,
Just two
got
words.
it.
That's it. Second topic, 2017 to 2019. Remember, guys, if there is any performance issue, it's mostly related to batch mode on row store operations. You have to. I have many videos on that. I mean, as part of my training, I made videos on that and I've shown to them. So that is second thing. Third thing, what was that? What we discussed? tempdb files. tempdb files I've shown you clearly, and be very precise with your answers. Don't say some numbers. For manage instance, I will say 12. That is fixed. But for Azure SQL, that is not the case. It depends upon the configuration of your databases, individual database, that too individual database. Okay, finally, we discussed about proxy. Okay, so these are interview questions, but it's very easy to demonstrate also. You got my point, right? So if you are learning something, you have to have hands-on with the topic. Then only you will be able to remember forever, and you can easily answer in your interviews. I'm done. If you have any questions, let me know.
Once I have a question.
Go for it.
Sorry, I'm going out.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So later, I mean, we all know that up to 2012, the cardinality estimation is having one algorithm, and from 2014 each version is having different version, right? So my question is that, let's say my SQL, I mean, I have migrated the databases from 2014 to 2017 because of some extended reason. Some of the transactions are having performance degradation. In that moment, I can go for trace flag. We can enable with the 9481, right?
9481 is the default trace flag, not default trace flag for cardinality estimator stuff.
Cardinality estimation changing back to the older version. So it will go back to the 2014, or I mean, it's a different version.
Very
How
good
we
question.
can ensure that?
Tomorrow, I will show you a diagram with a clear diagram, because I have given this demo for my colleagues at my office. So I will show you that demo, and you'll get to know when to use what trace flags. That 9481, and there is one more trace flag for older versions to make use of newer cardinality estimator. That is 2312, I believe. I will show the diagram then you will come to know.
So we have different trace flags, you mean to say?
Yeah,
right?
two trace flags, 9481 and 2312. I guess it is 2312. I'm not sure with the number. Let me check, double check, because sometimes I'm not be able to recall those numbers. Trace flag. Trace flag 2312. Yes, this is the one. So there are two trace flags, 9481 and 2312. I will talk about these trace flags maybe in upcoming session. You can see this, right? 2312. So these are very important trace flag, like both of them.
Okay. You got my question, right?
Yeah, I got your question. I got your question. I can show a demo also on that. Not a problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else, guys? It's already 11:15. I'm not getting sleep, but people will definitely get sleep. They will be tired. So I'm stopping here. If you have any questions, you can ping me on WhatsApp.
I'm fine. You can continue.
No, it's not about individual person. So it's about the others. Like, yeah.
Yeah, this is Nasser. I recently attended one of the interview. In interview asked me about always on. It's related to one of the scenario. If we create the job in one server, it needs to be replicated in all the servers. I don't know. I tried to do from my end. I could not able to perform that.
Just hold on for a second. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, just wait for it. 1 second. Is the drive? This one is really problem for me. Okay, for your question, before answering your question, this will be my final question. So I will wind it off. So how to ensure that jobs are getting replicated from your primary to your secondary replicas? That's the question, right? Yes. Okay. So this is very important question. Not about the question. This is very important task for a DBA. If you are not on SQL Server 2022, then it is our duty to copy all the jobs from primary to your, how many secondary replicas, I don't know. It depends upon your number of secondary replicas. So you have to copy your jobs. How to copy the jobs? That is the first thing. So what will be your answer? Anyone who knows, definitely they can answer it. So it will be DBA tools. Okay. So it will be DBA tools. And if someone is asking you,
DBA agent job.
If someone is asking for a command, you can say copy -DBA agent job. And if someone is asking you for other syncing about linked servers, proxies, credentials, alerts, operators, everything needs to be synced. Then what will you do? It's not just logins and jobs, right? Everything has to be
-DBA availability group.
Exactly. So that is the command, sync-DBA availability group. So if you just run these two commands, everything will get sorted out. That is fine. That is fine. So if you run those DBA tools, I have shown this in class as well. Let me show you that video. I mean, I'm just showing you the link, not the video. 1 second. So you have to answer in interview saying that you have to make use of DBA tools. And if he's asking for a specific command, then it is copy-DBA agent job. And you can say even sync-DBA availability group. It will sync everything. Okay. Let me show you that very important video. Very, very important video. I cannot stress the importance of it. Where is that? Yeah, this one. Real-time issues on SSIS DB and sync up the jobs in always on. Okay. So this is what you should do. But the problem here is for every job, you need to add one step, like if that is primary or not. If you don't do that, the job will get executed on all the replicas. Is it right or not? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Did you get my point?
Correct.
So very simple point. If you are copying the jobs, that's fine. So all the jobs are there. Even if node gets failed over, jobs are present. So it will get executed. That's fine. Absolutely fine. But my point is the job has to get executed only on primary replica, not on secondary replicas. If that is the case, what should we do?
We need to write logic. It should be
obviously we need to write a logic saying that if it is primary or not. So imagine you have some 100 or 1000 jobs. Yes, there are jobs, right? There are so many jobs inside our agent. So imagine you have some 1000 jobs. So how to write it down? Do you think that is an easy thing? No, right? So you have to write so much stuff. So for that, I've already shared the scripts for it. These are all real-time scripts, guys. Okay, so this is how I will create. I will just run this one script and it will create a job step for me, checking whether that replica is primary or not. Okay, it will create that job step. So if it is primary, it will get executed. Otherwise, it will skip that job. It will straight away come out from the job saying that job got executed successfully. Means we have a logic over there. It will do that logic also. So one script is good enough. So in interviewers, what you have to say is, in interviews, you have to say, I have to make use of DBA tools to copy the jobs. That is the first thing. And if someone is asking you for the command, of course, you should not ask any commands. That is not possible for a human to remember all the commands. We are not robots. But in case there are few interviewers, if they are asking for commands, you can say sync-DB availability group or copy-DB agent jobs. And in real time, the problem is you have to add one more logic to verify whether it is primary replica or not for all your jobs. And that has to be automated. So that is all these real-time scripts are being shared by me for my not for my I should not call them as students, for my working professionals, for my batch people. Okay, so that's the reason I'm saying whatever the content what I'm giving for that price is very minimal, and if you're interested, you can knock my door. Okay. So anything else? Now, before I wind off, for 2022, you need not worry about that. For 2022, we have contained availability groups. I made a demo on that, and I've shown how to create jobs as well in that demo. Where is that contained availability groups? It should be somewhere here. Yeah, this one, how to create contained availability groups. So for 2022, you can watch this video. All the jobs, but there are few things that you have to remember. I have explained the importance of that in this video. Everything is there.
Yeah. Yeah, Vamsi, I think the video which you shown earlier that may be private. Is it if it was is it possible to make it as
No,
public?
I can't make all the videos as public. I've made 40 to 45 videos as public out of my 130 videos, so you can watch them. Okay, so I'm leaving, guys. So I will catch you maybe tomorrow. I'm going to take classes regularly, so I'm going to spin up manage instance. So I wanted to explore new things, so I will do that. If someone is interested, you can let me know. Okay, thanks for your time, and I will catch you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.